What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to talk about if you're becoming an au pair, or even if you're going into an extension here, cities I personally think you should consider, or cities that have a lot of, I'm basing it off public transport, activities to do, other au pairs, cities that have like a lot of au pairs in them, and that way you won't struggle, or even if you say struggle, I'll just say it won't be as difficult or isolating to make friends. Your clusters would not be so spread apart. The first one I would say, and quite a few au pairs have said they really loved either being an au pair there or they're loving it there, was Washington DC. I even had an au pair that was there in DC, and she went into rematch and she was trying to stay within the area, and now she's no longer in DC, and she was like, man, she misses DC. It was just so amazing making friends there. It was great, like with activities. They also have free museums. The public transport system is great, and so a lot of au pairs really enjoy DC. The second one is New York City. So au pairs love New York City because that's where all the action, well, not all, majority of the action is. There's like models apparently, well, not apparently, there's some cute guys in New York City. At least I want to see when I visit. That's like weekends, so I don't know if it's all the time, but there's some cute guys in New York City. New York people are not the nicest, friendliest, so if you come from a country that's super social, maybe that will be a problem for you. But once again, the au pairs that have been in New York City have loved it. New York City is definitely busier. Now, I must say this though, is that in New York, you can still live in like places like, I had a friend, Shivani, she was from New York, like she was au pairing in New York, but she was like, what, I think 30 minutes away from the hustle and the bustle and the noise, and so that helped. They lived in like the suburbs, so you can have families that are from the suburbs, and then her previous family was like in the city, closer to the city. I want to say like Brooklyn, Manhattan there, and so the subway was pretty close, and so there is that. You're not always necessarily going to need to drive in New York City, but you also still have to have a driver's license, because with Shivani, her second family, she drove, and that was like in the suburbs, so you still can drive. But New York City, there's like a lot of things to do. The only thing I would say though is that it's pricey in New York City. It's pricey in general, whether you're au pair or not, it's just pricey. So just take that into consideration. There are places where you can get bargains, but it's a pricey state. The third one, this one, when I had my cluster, there was so many, not my cluster, orientation, both times, there was so many au pairs going to this state. This state is Maryland. So Maryland is close to DC. However, depending on which part of Maryland you're at, you could be scattered. Now, if you're in a rural area considered like on my farm, I don't know how else to say it. Some host families have it like it's pretty out away from like the hustle and bustle, but there are things to do in Maryland, and DC is close. It's like a train ride away, a bus ride. If you're in like Silver Spring area, that side, it's literally the subway away from DC. And so there's that. And the nicest thing in Maryland is that you can, depending on where you stay though, let me not say everyone is like this, you could be in the quietness in the week where it's like quiet suburb, that kind of lifestyle, and then you go into the city, which is DC, and it's like turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, if that's your vibe. But with Maryland, there's a lot of au pairs that have come here that have liked it. They've loved their families here. They've loved the people here. They've connected with friends here. They've found making friends here a bit easier than other states. And so that's also another state you can consider. The next one, take note, these are all cities on the East Coast, because I have a lot of friends and I've seen a lot of people in my world, or just on the groups, comment a lot about these places. There is one place that's not on the East Coast, but the next place is New Jersey. As you guys know, or you haven't known, if you don't know this, I au paired in New Jersey, and all I will say is look up where, because where I stayed, it was far. Well, there was trains to New York City, but it was like No, the first family, yeah. It was far from like other au pairs. It was like hard to make friends. But the reason I even put this on the list is because there's a certain part of New Jersey and there's other parts, because I have friends and I've heard other au pairs like it, and they've had friends and they've made friends. And once again, it's a great place to be because you can just catch the train to New York City if you want the busy life on the weekend, and then in the weekday it's just, you know, like quiet suburbs, whatever. But yeah, New Jersey has also been considered. A lot of au pairs go to New Jersey or like New Jersey or enjoy it. Hoboken is a great spot. I loved Hoboken. So that's another thing, like Hoboken was great. I really enjoyed Hoboken. However, this was 2016, 2017. So I don't know how Hoboken is right now. There was also a lot of young people like around our age in Hoboken. So that's what also helped. And most of these places, that's when I do research, that's one of the things I consider, like, are there a lot of families? Yes, but are there also like au pairs and students, or like people that are around your age to meet and mingle with? Because what's the point? The last one, number 5. Now let me say this, there are definitely other cities, but I'm just talking on what I have seen and like on the groups. I like research groups. What are the states people are mostly saying they want to go to when they ask, like, hey, I'm in rematch, or hey, I'm extending, should I do this one, that one? So this is how I face it. Number 5 is California. I would say California, Miami. People love just California in general. Like, if you come from warm weather, people have loved California. The only thing they've said is that it's also pricey to live at. And so there's that. Just know that you'll be earning an au pair salary. And so there's that too. And then the traffic is a nightmare. I've heard that traffic is terrible there. And so yeah, but there's public systems, there's buses, and there's a lot of activities to do. There's a lot of walking you can do. There's the beach, you can make friends. There's like festivals and like concerts, because a lot of people are in California who I think want to do music and acting and all this, probably like gigs all the time. So yeah, these are the states that I would say if you want a place that has a lot of activities, maybe a lot of au pairs, maybe a lot of things you can do. With California, I wonder if it's like there's a lot of kid activities, because I didn't think on that aspect. I thought on like a young adult. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this video. Bye. Also, before I say bye, if you are not current au pair, where would you recommend somebody to go to? Like, what state would you say they should go to? Because I lived in Colorado. I love Colorado. There were other au pairs there. However, I would not recommend, maybe Denver is different, but outside of Denver, I wouldn't recommend au pairs to go there if their main goal is to make friends. It's kind of harder there. Now, I had friends already because there was au pairs close by, and I was kind of connected before I even got there, so it's a different story. But people who had been there, like other au pairs that I found when I got there, had said it was like hard. And then it was also like there's not a lot of activities, especially like around other seasons. Winter, you can snowboard, that whole thing. But I just enjoyed it because I had people already there, versus like Denver. I don't know if Denver's popping. If Denver's popping, then y'all go to Denver. But if you're a current au pair, which states would you recommend and which states would you not recommend au pairs to go to? Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye for the second time.